Hey everyone, welcome to Do Nothing Man, episode 7 versus the Corona Conspirators, or Cronyberg. I just want to give a little preamble here because this was the toughest one I've had to do yet. Changing circumstances around COVID, trying to figure out where I stood, where Do Nothing Man would stand, trying to figure out what's going on with this, all the different things the government's supporting, all the cronyism that's going on, all the regulations, changing technologies. You know, first we thought ventilators helped, then they didn't help, and now we just don't know. So I've decided to put this out. It took a lot of work. It's the longest one I've done yet. A lot of effort, a lot of time, agonizing time over the last month and a half working on this. And I hope you enjoy it. But take it with a grain of salt. You know, the way this pandemic and COVID is changing, this episode may not age well. But know that I did the best I could at the time, so I hope you enjoy it. You can support everything that we're doing at Lions of Liberty at patreon.com/Lions of Liberty. And don't forget to follow Do Nothing Man on Facebook and also on his YouTube page. All right, thanks a lot. Enjoy the episode. Welcome back to another riveting episode of Do Nothing Man and Logic Lad. Today's episode, Do Nothing Man versus the Corona Conspirators. We join Do Nothing Man in the Do Nothing lair, decked out in his finest Do Nothing robe and underoos, binge drinking and binge watching Tiger King, the documentary that's taken the world by storm. Oh, you're missing out, Logic Lad. This bitch Carol totally killed her husband, and I think Joe Exotic may have figured out the solution to homelessness. House and feed your employees at low cost. But then we've got to kill off that minimum wage to make it viable. Also, gotta see the tiger tits Doc Anna slapped on these brainwashed teens. It's nuts! And speaking of nuts, those leftover stuffed Guatemalan insanity peppers I had from El Mierdo Loco are breaking out of the asylum. Ugh. Do Nothing Man races for the toilet, his sloshing martini dousing him in liquor as he waddles like a duck. Oh, sweet relief. But that's the last of my toilet paper. Robe, I've got some bad news for you. Do Nothing Man makes the best of a bad situation and emerges from the restroom in his everyday civilian attire. Sweatpants and a worn-out Van Halen tee with a hole in the left armpit. Logic Lad, I'm going to the store. Do you need anything? Hello? What the fuck does that guy do all the time? I never see him, but I know he's here. Do Nothing Man leaves the lair as Logic Lad pokes his head out of his room.
Did you say something, D&M? I thought I heard you were going to the store, but that would be suicide. D&M? Oh my God, D&M, you fool!
Do Nothing Man arrives at the local Wanko Mart to find a line of people in masks outside. He approaches them, unafraid. Hell, fellows, what's with the masks? You robbers or something? If so, this lacks the speed and subtlety that you want in this type of thing. All of the people waiting in line back off D&M as though he has the plague. What? Did I not wipe all the way with my robe earlier? Do Nothing Man sniffs around behind him but catches his throat by inhaling a gnat. Right down the throat hole. All of the people in line flee in terror at his cough. Well, all right, more store for me. Do Nothing Man enters the Wanko Mart and makes his way to the toilet paper aisle. Standing before it, mouth agape. No Charmin, no Cottonelle, no Scott single-ply ass ripper. No toilet paper at all. Hey you, shopkeep, what's the deal? The shitting Olympics in town?
Well, people went nuts and bought it all up. I'm not even sure when the new shipment over here.
Why would people buy up all the toilet paper? Is there a toilet day parade this week and they needed to tear up toilet paper to make toilet paper confetti or some such idiocy? As Do Nothing Man ponders this, he walks to El Mier de Loco. It's time to tell these assholes what I think of them ruining my colon with those clearly poisoned peppers. Nobody gives do-nothing man diarrhea and gets away with it. What the hell? The door is locked. Inside, workers gesture that do-nothing man cannot come in. Oh, is that right? You cowards give a man the red-hot, dirty squirts and then hide in your hole. Screw you! You can't hide forever. Do-nothing man jumps in the do-nothing mobile and heads home, angry, sweaty, and bewildered. Waste of my damn time! At least there's no traffic. Do-nothing man returns to the do-nothing lair in record time on completely clear roadways. However, his trip is slowed by a police officer that flags him down. Sir, do you know why I am stopping you? Is this something that you would consider essential travel? Any travel I take under my own volition is essential. What are you, some sort of judge of what's essential? A subjective term? Officer, am I being detained? I'd like to remind you, only essential travel. All right, thanks. Hey. Have a great day. Keep wanking that thin blue line of yours. Do-nothing man easily places distance between himself and the flabbergasted officer in the mighty do-nothing mobile, finally arriving back at the lair. Unfortunately, he finds Logic Lad standing in the kitchen in a defensive posture holding 2 bottles of spray sanitizer. Around him is a jerry-rigged 6-foot diameter hula hoop which hangs from his shoulders. What in the fuck are you wearing, Logic Lad? Have you lost your mind?
Unclean! You've been exposed to the outside world!
Logic Lad races at Do-Nothing Man, spraying sanitizer at a fevered pace, but stops when his hula hoop reaches DNM's waist.
No closer, Typhoid Mary!
God, that sanitizer spray is all up in my schnoz! Logic Lad turns the spray sanitizers on himself and uses the cans to their full extent. He stands drenched and dripping. You look like a drowned cat or something that fell out of a stripper's vagina in Reno. What the hell's gotten into you?
What's gotten into me? What's gotten into you? I couldn't get a mask because all the stores sold out and the government regulations are blocking companies from making more. Wait, how can you not know about the coronavirus? The greatest threat to mankind, ever.
The government is the greatest threat to mankind ever, Logic Lad. You know that. Endless wars and regulations, monetary systems based on nothing. Those are the bigger threats than a virus. So what's the big deal?
It kills you. Well, not you. I mean, mostly it's just really old people and people with compromised immune systems. But the media has been talking about it nonstop, and at least 5 people who weren't old died, DNM. Or they may have died from the virus. The doctors have been marking anybody who tested positive with it and then died as having died from the virus, although that may not be true, even though, well, it's very confusing. But still, it's scary as shit. And we're in lockdown mode.
What seems to be in lockdown mode is your rights. Even you, Logic Lad. You're succumbing to a cessation of rights in exchange for safety? That's the classic trade-off trap.
I know. I mean, it just seems so scary, DNM. My lizard brain is fighting my logical human brain. I can see this being the new 9/11 excuse that government can use for short-term gain, and then these authoritarian measures just are here to stay, but I'm just overcome.
You logic-losing lunkhead. Look, I don't want to have to replace you so soon. You were just learning how I like to organize my porn files, so pull your shit together, Logic Lad.
Right, you're right. I can't fall into this trap of short-sighted relief from panic that results in long-term pain and loss of liberty.
So let me guess. All these politicians had to do something before they had the data or the facts or consider the economic fallouts to their prescriptions?
More or less, DNM. Basically, everything is shut down but groceries and takeout food. They splash trillions into a spending bill, and most of it's just going to cronyist bailouts while the average person gets a tiny check.
Has socialism ever been better summed up? Elites and cronies keep the lion's share, and the public is idly placated as the money runs out. We have to step in. Even though it seems no one knows the facts, doing nothing is still the way forward. Get yourself cleaned up, Logic Lad. We've got to go stop some bullshit.
How, though? The cops and soon the National Guard will be patrolling all the roads.
If you want to catch some rats, better start in the sewer. We'll take the new do-nothing hydroplane I've been 3D printing. Meet me in the basement in 10. Do-nothing man and Logic Lad soar through the underground sewer system at high speeds.
So what's our destination, DNM?
Where the cancer starts, Washington, D.C. But I have a feeling we'll meet some friends along the way. As if called into being by Do-Nothing Man, the hydroplane slows as a series of tents and cots come into view. Bustling crowds of doctors and other medical staff attend to infected victims. Hail there! Why are you operating down here in the filthy sewer?
We can't operate above ground. The government and the AMA have combined to give a medical monopoly on licensing and testing, so we doctors who want to help are stuck working in secret. There's no time to deal with that cronyist bureaucracy. Thank God there's another operation down the way that's giving us some of the tools that we need. Here, take these with you to help you on your way. Some zinc and quinine pills.
Thank you. Godspeed, heroes. By the end of our quest, I hope you're able to aid freely.
Who do you think is up ahead, DNM?
We're about to find out. Holy shit! There's a mini factory down here.
Hey, keep it down, dickheads. You want us to get caught?
Hey, sorry, pal. It's not exactly like you're a ninja here. What are you cranking out?
Test kits, masks, a lot of masks. Trying to meet demand to keep people from spreading the sickness. You see, FDA created new rules on masks and test kit creation that made it impossible for companies like mine to meet demand quickly. Who has time to wait weeks to meet the new mandates and hire regulatory experts to make sure we won't get shut down or fined? So we work down here, send up supplies, and help the ducks down the way.
The market finds a way. Can I snag a couple of those masks, friend? Will they help with the constant smell of farts down here, or just the virus?
You get used to the smell. Can't help with that, but they keep you healthy. I won't get used to the smell.
Your secret is safe with us. Soon you'll operate in the sunshine once again. Do-Nothing Man and Logic Lad round the bend in the twisting sewer. Now there's a smell I can get behind.
It smells like gasoline.
Not gasoline, sweet, sweet moonshine. Daddy needs his medicine. Gotta follow my nose like Toucan Sam. A glorious sight welcomes our heroes as a bootlegging underground distillery comes into view. Barrels of moonshine line the stinky dock. Take the wheel, Logic Lad. I'm getting a buzz before we go. Fuck these government stooges into next year.
Hold on there, pal. This booze ain't for drinking. It's for sanitizing. Now you're speaking my language. Does it come in a suppository? I think that would just burn like hell and still get you drunk. I'm not hearing a no.
Logic Lad, keep your perversions to yourself. Kind sir, I'm not following.
Well, the fucking FDA, an alcohol board, made it impossible for us to create hand sanitizer from our raw booze. It would solve the shortage in a day. But these cocksuckers are intent on making an easy problem into the Fibonacci sequence. Hey, I said that's not for drinking.
Do-Nothing Man pulls back from a barrel of high-potency alcohol he was stealing gulps off of. Do-Nothing Man, stay!
All right, well, I guess I will keep driving. Yeah, that's about 150 proof corn moonshine there. Yeah, he may die. Trust me, he's had worse. We have a mission to complete and he never fails. We're off to D.C. to rein in this authoritarian monster that's intent on killing America and maybe the world. Well, I'll drink to that.
He takes a big gulp off his own batch.
Get him!
Logic Lad pushes Do-Nothing Man into the boat and off they go. But it's not long before Logic Lad sees a horrible sight. Some of the real sewer rats.
DNM, wake up, quick! Do you see that?
Ahead, bankers and CEOs of Fortune 500 companies work in tandem, taking handoffs from Fed employees and politicians who shove bushels of currency into secret enclaves. Those cocksuckers! This is what happens every time, Logic Lad. The stimulus just creates money for the elite who hoard it at no interest, while inflation rises and the everyman goes into debt. High speed, Logic Lad. We'll teach them a lesson. The hydroplane revs up into turbo mode. The engines blast plumes of flame as the hydro approaches the bankers. Do-Nothing Man fills his mouth with the high-proof sanitizer and exhales a vast plume of alcohol vapor on all of the money, the bankers, and the cronies, which catches the flames from the exhaust and explodes!
Now that's how you get rid of an infestation. You can say that again, DNM. By the way, I think we finally made it to DC and we're right under the Senate chambers.
Then it's time to go topside. The hydroplane takes a ramp leading to what appears to be a metal grating, shattering the ceiling and emerging at the main hall of the Senate, where the World Health Organization representative is giving a rousing speech to the gathered representative rabble, who sip from champagne flutes while snorting lines of caviar off each other's genitals.
Friends, in the decades preceding this, we have tried and failed to consolidate our power over these peons. AIDS, SARS, swine flu, Ebola, all failures. But with COVID-19, we have hit the jackpot. Thank you. The fools are running scared. They'll literally follow any rule we lay down to keep themselves safe, as long as we provide them with a pittance to keep the Miller Lite flowing and keep them utterly reliant on our fiat systems. We control everything. We track every movement. We are the economic gatekeepers. Free will and the free market be damned! The New World Order can finally begin!
That's good caviar! Not so fast, WHO! Or should I say, wanking hooker orifice? Your trading terror for totalitarianism has come to an end.
Well, if it isn't Do-Nothing Man. You talk a big game, but we anticipated your arrival and set up a little surprise for you. Cronyberg, assemble!
From the corners of the Great Hall, rumbling can be seen as the sectors of the economy controlled by the elitist government stooges groan into life. The recalled body of a Boeing 737 MAX jet rolls to the center of the room. Two supply containers filled with goods held up by tariffs slowly slide under it, lifting the Boeing body up. A giant anal probe and a massive syringe flying from the FDA and the AMA latching on as well. A jabbering printing press spewing currency drops from the ceiling to create the mouth of the monstrosity, with two focusing eyes crafted from TV cameras forming the face. And finally, an ass that says "Made in China," crafted of pure bullshit, rolls up the legs to complete the beast.
COVID Cronyberg, destroy them, please.
Do-Nothing Man and Logic Lad take in this Cronenberg monstrosity before charging into the fray as the politicos and heads of industry cheer them on as though they're gladiators. Logic Lad, you take out the legs of this bastard and I'll work on the arms.
Got it, DNM. Hey, Legs, do you realize that placing tariffs on inbound goods when we have a heavy reliance on Chinese manufacturing of medical supplies, including masks, pharmaceuticals, and other components, has crumbled the supply chain? And that those goods were routed elsewhere due to the high tariffs placed upon them?
One of Cronyberg's shipping container legs rusts under his barrage of facts and logic. The monster falls to one knee. Good work, lad. Slap that logic across his croniest titties.
I don't see any titties, DNM. I thought you said go for the legs.
I'm just riffing. Don't stop. Do-Nothing Man wrestles with one of the arms, holding back the giant syringe with all his might while seemingly ignorant of the creature's other arm sliding in behind him. No government-mandated vaccine for me, thank you. Logic Lad, the other leg, hurry! As Logic Lad tears into the other leg, ripping apart the regulatory burdens, FDA approvals, and red tape holding up the supplies, Cronyberg's arm strikes, jamming its anal probe into Do-Nothing Man's nethers. Good morning, Vietnam!
Didn't see that one coming, did you, Do-Nothing Man? Enjoy the ride right up until you die.
I think not, Adolf Hooler! With a final grunt, Do-Nothing Man crushes the anal probe between his buns of steel. Don't you know that you can't fuck a libertarian in the ass unless he wants it? We're always ready for the government to stab us in the back.
And that is why regulations and licensing laws crush the free market's ability to handle a pandemic!
Cronyberg's other leg buckles underneath him. The Chimera falls to its knees. Nice work, Logic Lad. Now focus on the body while I take care of this. With neither Logic Lad or Do-Nothing Man even laying a finger on it, the body of the Boeing 737 MAX jet collapses in on itself. The crowd boos and throws their cocktail glasses at former Boeing CEO Dennis Muhlenberg.
God damn it, Dennis!
What a dick! Dennis, you fucking piece of shit. Wow, that is one unsafe way to fly!
Imagine, Logic Lad, the Import-Export Bank has been propping that booby-trap company up for decades. Well, their incompetence and the government's refusal to let them fail on their own merits has given us the margin for victory that we need. With his attention refocused on the syringe, Do-Nothing Man bends the needle sideways and plunges it into the head of the American Metal Association cartel, who stands rooting against him on the sidelines. License that, Monopoly Man! Do not pass. Go to hell!
Is there a doctor in the house? Good one, DNM!
Not good one, jerk!
I can take out those TV camera eyes in just a second, by the way. I'm streaming this live to my citizen journalism channel, Logic Lad Live, and this unfiltered, unbiased reporting has just about rendered the mainstream media dead. And it's done.
The TV camera eyes both explode in sparks and smoke. Excellent. All that's left now is to take care of this cash-spewing maw. Shut your bitch mouth! Do-Nothing Man roundhouses the Fed head money machine with such force that it creates a sonic boom, deflating the currency and exploding the dick and or labia of every Fed representative in the room. Try to print your way out of that. All that's left now is the steaming pile of Chinese bullshit, which emits a loud fart noise and scurries off the skating through event.
That commie bullshit's getting away!
Let them run. Now that they're exposed, I doubt people will trust them like they did at any price. Just like the World Health Organization and our government at large. Look at these pathetic creatures writhing and fleeing to their holes.
But what about the broader impact, DNM? The stay-at-home orders, the closing of businesses. Will you use your powers of do-nothingness to undo what's been done?
I've been thinking about that this entire time, Logic Lad. It's a conundrum, almost a paradox. Now that Pandora's box has been opened, I'm not sure I can undo this. I'm not sure what the unintended consequences may be. If I use my powers in the middle of this pandemic, will I end up causing more deaths or less? Can I trust the data I've been given? Well, I oppose everything these authoritarian stooges have done. Their unconstitutional methods. What if the consequences of my erasing it are worse? I have to live by my creed and for now, do nothing. As they should have done. But this fight isn't over. And my greatest fear is that this crisis, like everyone preceding it, will cede our rights and never give them back. And that is a fight that we cannot let sit. Until next time, though, do nothing, man! A stay!
A curious end to this episode of Do Nothing Man and Logic Lad. The questions always remain for heroes and citizens alike. What are the consequences of our actions? And how do we know what we're doing is right? Tune in next time for a brand new adventure at some point. Who knows when it's going to come out, but make sure to tune in and to hit that subscribe button on Do Nothing Man's YouTube page and to join his Facebook group. Until next time, Do Nothingers, don't move a muscle.
Sits in a chair and it's not 'cause he don't care, he just knows it's better off without him. It might be cool indeed if he had the help we all need, but he don't and it ain't worth the robbing. From Peter to help Paul through Mary, you know, even though he's never even met them. So how the hell should he know everything he needs to know to prevent any shitty repercussions? He's the do-nothing man. Do-nothing man. He does his best when put to the test. His best to stay out of your way. Wonder why he don't jump at the scream of everyone trying to enlist him. The thing is, he knows how much he don't know and is not into unintended outcomes. He's a do-nothing man. Do-nothing man. He does his best when put to the test, his best to stay out of your way. He's a do-nothing man. Do-nothing man. He does his best when put to the test, his best to not fuck up your day.
Do Nothing Man was created, written, and voiced by Brian McWilliams. The Ballad of Do Nothing Man is by Nick Picone.